streaming! Yay! Do we have a stream? We have a stream. No. No, don't do that. Horrible thing. Awesome. So, here we are. Where are we? Oh, we're here. And yay. That's the wrong keyboard. Fantastic. Yay. That worked. It's programming time. Here's all. I'm back. 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. British summertime. Wow. How time flies. I'm not finishing that sentence. Okay. Where were we up to? What's this doing on my screen? Right. Get that off the screen. There we go. This is where we're up to. I've got the code in front of me. GitHub has the code in front of GitHub. Yes, it has the code as well. Here at Fraserblades Sharp Sandrogue. This is the project I've settled on doing. Where are we up to? We have completed, as of yesterday, our OpenGL Hello World tile for the floor with pretty colours of purple and grey. And a background which isn't black. Good. It's a bit red, but it's fine. And an X button that works. Yay. I want the escape key. Rightio. So, come join us. Join in, download the code. Join in at home. Have some fun, code along with Blades. My name's Fraser Sharp. You can call me Blades if you wish. I don't mind. That's my nickname, I suppose, for my characters. Yeah, I think we'll show you the power of what the OpenGL Hello World can actually do. The power of simple implementation. How's about that? And we do have some simple implementation. Just trying to think where. It's on the wrong side of the screen, but hey ho. No, don't do that. That would be ugly. Projects. I'm just trying to remember where I put it. Let's have a look through, see what we've got. Structs, inits, maths, shaders. Oh, vectors. We didn't cover that. Damn. Never mind. That's fine. Let's see what we've got in here. Oh, that was me testing stuff out, wasn't it? We have floor data load model. Yeah. What about core? Ah, we do have a map. Let's pop that open. See whether we are just going to transfer it or whether it needs anything. Right, I've got this struct. This is okay as far as it goes. It'll do for a start. How much code is that? Oh, it's not that big. It's not that big. Okay, how does this all work and how does it all fit together? Well, it starts right at the very top, funnily enough, with create dungeon level. And it's in a map.c, no header file. That's important, because I don't want to do it that way. Okay, we'll go with this then. We'll go with this functionality. So let's design it, shall we? This was actually written on the 15th of July by me. So we are now on the 25th of July, which is 10 days later, and we are going to make this into a header file. We are going to make a header file for this. We'll keep the name, because it's a good name. So under project, resources don't matter for a minute. OpenGL doesn't matter for a minute. SandMaths doesn't matter for a minute. What matters is, I don't know why I still got Asimp here. Oh dear, what am I doing with that here, eh? Why didn't somebody tell me that that should be in common? It goes under dependencies. It goes there. So you should have told me, naughty people. You are allowed to tell me things, you know. I'm an idiot. I don't mind. So anybody joining us today? Oh, a couple of people have done. That's all right then. That's good news. So where should we start? Where should we start? We shall start by making a core file. Yes, we shall. And what we're going to do with this G map cells. These don't belong here either. These are global variables. We don't really want these here. Do I have a spot in common for that? Type def structs ECS. No. Okay. Well, let's sort that out then. Come here. Let's cut you out of here. And let's just place you. That's going to grow. Here. Which means, gotcha, you can't. It has to go after structs. Because it involves this. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So, G stands for global, and I use that tag on purpose, just to make sure I know what the hell I'm doing when I'm using it. So that doesn't alter the program, but it does alter this a lot. If you now have a look at what we've got, we have nothing. We have our main function. That's it. That's awesome. That is so awesome. So I've cleaned out the whole of the mess that was at the top. We haven't cleaned this out because we're only up to 458. So this will be cleaned out, but not yet. We are going to be using map H today. It doesn't really matter which order either, because we're using header files. This is working out too well. This is working out a little bit too well. It's making me look good, and I'm not. So, source file. Associated header. We'll have it in C. And we'll just call it map. Why not? Add. Thank you. So, what do we want in the header file? In the header file, we shall have the following. Let's take a look. That we have. Oh, right. Hash include source / common. That's the first thing we do, because that's got all our stuff in. That's got that. Right, we haven't got these defines. Common. Let's have a look at our defines list. We've got window, we've got map, we've got max entities, but we don't have our rooms defined. Okay. Let's copy you over. Goes with the map really, so we'll pop it in there. So there we go. Not used yet, don't worry about it. Structures. I've got this rectangle thing. I'm going to skip that for now. Because I can't think of a use for it straight off. And that's the honest truth. I can't see a reason to have a rectangle right now. In map.h we can declare our functions, which are basically that lot plus that one. Forward declaration, always a good idea, just in case it's needed. It isn't, but I don't care. Right, we have a glmvec2. We know we can't do this, so I'm just gonna ignore that, and we're gonna start setting these up properly. Oh, it's letting us do it today, is it? That's interesting. Uints, we're getting rid of those, and we can call that a U32 so we know how many bytes we're using. That's the first thing I want to change in here. We have type defed it, and that's what I want them to be. Vec2s are just Vec2s, there's no GLM anymore. Well, there is, but not that one. Doesn't half clean things up, having that. Void bool Vec2 void. That's an error. No, that's an error. Function cannot return array type vec2, also known as float2. Correct. Map random point in room returns 2 values. It returns a location. Do we not have a location? A simple struct location. Okay. I don't want to use this rectangle thingy. Camera components. We have position. So it's a game component. Is what that's saying to me. It's not a vector at all. That's a game component. We'll also have to pass it in. What the heck have I just overwritten there? U32. How did I overwrite that? Silly me. Okay. So that now makes more sense. Ooh, nearly. Actually, that's probably a good name for it. There is a semicolon at the end of that, isn't there? Yes, there is. Right, so that now makes more sense. Creating a dungeon level doesn't return anything. That's okay. Carve room, true or false. That makes sense. Carve corridor, no return. That makes sense. Carve corridor, no return. That makes sense. Fantastic. So that is actually our source code. I think that's good. Do we need to do any other includes for map? No. We don't. Is the answer. What happened there? Wrong one. There we go. Right, because these are not going to stay. What they are on the right hand side is not what we're going to have on the left hand side. Again, I am not copying, I am actually just developing the work I've already done. Because the work I've already done was close to being exact, but possibly not quite. Okay, so we've got all of the functions. And it's all clean. So back in main, we would is the map going to affect anything else in these header files? No. Fine. Source. Core. And map. Where is it? Pardon? Where did I just put it? I put it in OpenGL. Oh, right, okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's better. Thank you. Somewhere in amongst all of this lovely, lovely, lovely main program that we've got of 400 lines, we have a line that says we're supposed to make a map. And I never used to-dos. Here we go. Create dungeon level. Okay. We can do that. It's map. Create dungeon level. Done. Next. Alright. Let me just look down the rest of here. Create our window. Because there was some stuff at the bottom here, wasn't there, that I just hadn't moved. Yeah, there is. Oops. Wrong thing to do. There. That's swap buffers. Alright. Let's do it all properly, shall we? Otherwise, I'm going to lose track of where everything is now. We are getting to the stage where it's getting large enough for me to be able to forget things. Okay. Those are the to-dos done. We've created a map. All we have to do is display it. That should be easy enough. Right, so we're already doing the floor. So that goes from here to here. In reality. Okay. But we know the width of the map, and we know... Muppet, are you alright, love? The height of the map. Muppet? You okay, love? He's got a fur ball. So this code is in a loop. I told you, the power of C is infinite. Are we using the variables X and Z? Because we're in 3D. We are not. So, 4, and it's 80, isn't it? Yeah, 4. Ah, I've got a use for it at long last. Come here, type def. Thank you. Yes, we have a use for it. For U8. X equals 0, semicolon, X is less than or equal to map width, semicolon, X plus plus. U8 goes up to 255, by the way, if you're wondering. Thank you. For U8, Z equals 0 to Z is less than or equal to map height Z plus plus dun, 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 dun. There it is. Position of the floor nope, there's an if statement. if G underscore map cells X Z, and that's what you have to put, because it's a Boolean, it's either true or false. That surrounds that there. Okay. Then the floor position is yeah, that's right. Float X starts at 0, doesn't it? That's fine then. Float Z, and we want it on the 0, so it's a level plane in the Y direction, up and down. The scale will be 1. We calculate the model matrix, we send the model matrix through, and we draw it. And we do that for each tile in the map. And that will draw the floor. There is no floor at the moment, so it will draw absolutely nothing. Now, we won't be able to see it, because we are looking down the -x position. So this ain't gonna hack it. So camera dot position 0. So the X we want to go halfway across, which is 40. We want to go, don't know yet. Down is 40 plus a bit. Let's call it 50. Let's go 10 past. 10 past the bottom. So we'll call that 50. And this we'll call 10 because we've gone 10 past. We'll go up 10. 10 meters. This is all, well, I call it meters. But yeah, that's 45 degrees rotation. That puts the camera in the correct place. Because remember, it's looking down the negative of this Z direction. So it'll be looking towards 0. So it could be 50 looking towards 0. There shouldn't be anything on screen. There should be errors. Huh? This is a linking error. Multiple definition of Gmap cells. There can't be. It's inside. Hold on a minute. Multiple definitions of Gmap cells. Did I not cut it? Was I an idiot? No. Huh? It's done something weird. Aha. This was originally called Sand Road map. And yeah, that will cock things up. Why are there multiple definitions? I've broken the header guard on common. How have I done that? How can you break a header guard? Anybody know? That's an impossible thing to do. Unless... Why is it in the O file? Hold on a minute, who's put it into the O file? It should only be in the main, it shouldn't be anywhere else. Okay, somehow that has leaked into an object file. Somehow. Project, what are you doing? Let's find out what it's doing here. First of all, that is correct. Right, that's correct, no problem. Just reload your changes and sure up you. Build, rebuild project. It can't. It's included by each one of these. But it should only be included in the header file. Okay. Map C only includes map H. Fine. Util C only includes a header file. That's correct. Shader C, shader header file. That's correct. I think I might know what the problem is. Hopefully it doesn't include itself. that line shouldn't actually be there. It's got directives that say don't do it. Come on, you've got me on this one. Is it because main season got it in? Which shouldn't matter. I mean, it's irrelevant whether it's got it or not. Yeah. Is common.h part of this? Hold on a minute. Yeah, it's in here. I'm just wondering if I should move it. Those are pure headers. They're not actually supposed to be in here for compiling. Right, it's compiling it. On shaders, matrix, and map. Source, OpenGL shader.co. And it keeps coming back to G underscore map. What's the other one? Position. I've got this somewhere else. It's the only explanation I can come up with. Or you can't put global variables in here. One of the two. And I think it's the latter. So that doesn't go in this one. It's these two that's cocking it up. So it is the global variables. It goes in map. I'm going to put it here. What's the other one? The other one was this. I'm going to put that in main for now. I haven't got a better place to put it. Multiple definition of GMAP cells. First definition here. And it's defined in the same place twice, so that means that this header is broken. How interesting. Map H has 2 usages which are not safe to delete. Whoop, cancel. Interesting about the globals. Actually, it doesn't like globals doing that. That's what's going on. Yeah. Yeah. I can't move the globals, which means will map.h pull it in? Interesting. Now, I didn't know that. Do not put global variables into header files, I think is the answer to that one. I shall accept. Its honourable suggestion. Run. Good. Can't see a thing. That's right. That's exactly what we should see. Absolutely nothing. So, welcome to anybody who's joining us. I'm just sorting out the header files for doing the map with our one tile. And God help me, I hope this works, because now I've got this in main. Now I've got this in main. Problem is the includes are above it. Okay. Fine. And you can't do that because you need common first. This is why I didn't want it in main. Okay. It's fine. Right. Onwards and downwards. Into the dungeon. We go. That was this morning. It was good fun, that. I really enjoyed myself. Right, I just need a quick bio break and then we are going to do some programming. In fact, I think we'll take a coffee as well. So before we start... There we go. I shall be right back with a fresh cup of coffee. Excellent. The compiler was correct. Thank God I had a coffee. Yeah, I could have added static in front of them, which means that they are not to go outside of the header file for which they are to be included from. Doesn't matter, that would just make it harder for me. So static globals aren't global. They get localized. So no, I don't want that. I want true global at this point, because it'll force me, C will force me to stop using globals, and we will end up having to remove them, without a doubt. Probably, without a doubt. There you go, how's that? Without a doubt with uncertainty. Well, hey, there was a contradiction, a double negative, without a positive. Or maybe there was. Bear with me a second. I've forgotten something. So when we call this map create dungeon level, we may have to pass a couple of variables in. Won't that be awful? No, it won't. Does mean we will probably need a structure for dungeon levels, which is absolutely fine, because that's what we should end up with. And that's the whole point to programming in C. It makes you do things correctly. It makes you manage things correctly. So, let's start the base code and see how far we get. That'll be interesting. Where's that guy? It goes here. Yeah, there's something missing there. Right. Create the dungeon level. Let's have a look and see what we've got. Set all locations to false. I bet we can't. There you go. And that's what I meant by it. Now, this does mean I could use calloc. What that means is that that is no longer a global variable. That becomes a local variable. Oops, don't do caps lock, that's always bad. That's the first thing. So we now have our map cells becoming false. That's good. Right, so now we are going to make our rooms. So let's do that. This is where I did the rectangle thing, isn't it? Why? Okay, do I agree with this part? Let's have a look. Next part of the code. Do I agree with rooms generating equals true? Yes, I do. Floor tiles used equals 0. I agree with that. Room count? Don't need. At this point, I don't think. So we can put that up here with the variables, can't we? Yeah. Thank you. Right, what next? While room's generating, and then we get into this hodgepodge of stuff. And it ends, whoa, there. Let's go through the code, shall we, with all the red things. Okay. Make a random room with a maximum size and width. Okay, so we need dice rolls. Hash include. Where do we put the dice anyway? And it's sanddice.h. Okay. That's good. We'll have that. Not sure what it is, but it's definitely not sand. Is it an underscore? Dice. Dice roll. There you go. Fine. Max room width +3. Yeah, okay. So we can take that off there. That becomes a dice roll. +3. Okay, so that gives us a width and a height. Place the room in position X and Y. Simple forward dice roll. Okay, that's working. Attempt to place the room into the map. Alright, go ahead and do that. If success, floor tiles used plus equals, add to list of rooms created. Why? Room count plus equals 1. Why is that not working? Ah, we do need rooms count then. Why? Why do we need to count the rooms? Are you alright there, Pudding? You okay? It looks alright. I hope. Removing. Actually, yeah. We'll just remove it for now. Right. That makes that simpler. Exit condition is cast to float, floor tiles used, divided by float, map width times map height is greater than... I'm going to take that down slightly. So if that equation is true, room generation equals false, and we come out of the while loop. Yes, that's correct. That's the shortest I can do it. Right, good. We're getting somewhere. That is correct. That's how you generate your rooms. You generate a room, any random room in the universe will do. Absolutely any shape, size, or whatever. You then check to see whether it'll fit in your map. So here, attempt to place room into map. This is your big check here. This is what does all the work. Map carve room. Everything else around it is just setting up those 4 variables. Those 4 variables can be anything you like. But as soon as you try and put that room into the map, it has to fit. And you have to specify the rules on how it fits. And that's what map carve room does. It will either carve the room into the map, or it will reject the room and the while loop will continue. So for generating every single map, you might be rejecting about 100 to 500 rooms. It'd be interesting to see how many it does reject, and that is something you could look at. If it becomes an issue and slows down the game. Startup sequence, as it would be. Because this is part of the startup sequence, just generating the first level of a dungeon. But you want to be able to generate the level of a dungeon on the spur of the moment. In other words, when the character who's adventuring goes to the next level. And this level has to then be stored, which is why we're going to need a struct. So we should be setting up that struct in here as well. Oh, something just flashed up. Was that you lot out there watching me? Oh, I've got a stream summary. Oh, that's this morning's stream, isn't it? Yeah. That's fine. So we now have our basic code to set up a position X, a position Y randomly with a random room width and a random room height that's sensible but can be rejected. So let's continue with the code. The next part of the code obviously is to do map carve room, where we have to either accept or reject the room. Here it is, map carve room. Why have I got a game component here? Oh, that's right, yeah, random pointing room. Yeah, right, okay. Let's do this. Ignore that. There we go. We haven't even got to the player model, so that's why I'm just leaving that one alone. Map, carve room. This goes on to do the corridors, doesn't it? Let's stuff that for a moment, shall we? Random point. Map, carve room. What we got? U32, 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 U32s. Yeah, okay. It's a bool. Okay. Let's have a look at the code. Now we have a problem. Can you see what the problem is? It's not global anymore. That's fine. So what we want to do, first of all, is check to see if any of the cells that are in this room match an already existing room. So if any of the cells return true, then a flaw has already been placed in that cell, and we have to reject this room, return false. Otherwise, make sure that no two rooms overlap. So you just check around the +1 area type of thing. In fact, that is at +1. That's an interesting one. Why are we doing it twice? Because that note should be there. Is the answer? That's what the first part does. There you go. So all this does now is run through each of the tiles that the room here has and sets that to true. And that means that that map cell has a flaw. By God, that's simple. And that's it, all done. The only thing we have a problem with now is we have map cells. So it's map cells. But that won't work. I'd have to multiply it out if I did it that way. I can't use X and Y. Got it. That's the answer. How many levels are we going to have? 255? Or is it infinite? No, 255 will do, I think. Have we got a def for that? We do. We could use a U8, couldn't we? Nope, it has to be an int. So I8 structs it's a type def. It's a struct. And it goes something like I8 dungeon level and whatever that silly thing was that we are having to pass around. There we go. That is going to be our dungeon level current. Stop it! Come back to me. Thank you. There you go. All we need now is in main is to stop doing this. That's why we're having problems. Got it now. So we could have used the bloody globe, but it was me. Okay. So what we need now is an I8 current dungeon level equals minus equals 0. That can now go to wherever we are making our dungeon, down here somewhere. Yeah, well, it won't be Gmap cells, will it? Where we're making our dungeon, please. Why can't I see it? Render. Where's it gone? Who's stolen me dungeon? Come on. Oh no, who's stolen me dungeon? I thought I'd done it. Oh, it's here. It's all the way back up here before the window. Is that legal? Yes, it is. There you go. So, dungeon. Level current equals current Why isn't this coming up? Because I forgot to do something. Sorry. Right, we have a problem. Do we have a problem? Why do we have a problem with that? Because it hasn't been initialized. Okay. Which means that map.c can't do that. You, go away. You. Cut. Main, can you do your job? Okay. Start at level 1 then. Why not? Why is there no dot? There we go. And that's going to be dungeon level current. Oh, wait a minute. Dungeon level current. Dot delete. Thank you. That sets you up to false. And that means that dungeon level current now equals whatever's coming out of there. I don't like it. I don't like doing it that way. Dungeon. Am I spelling this wrong or something? Is it me? My bad spelling again? No, it isn't. That should be dungeon level current. That's why. Okay. Why has it put capital L's and stuff in? What are you doing? What's going on? No, we don't do that around here. Sorry, hadn't spotted it. It's done C++ on us. That's C. That's C. My apologies there, I didn't spot that one. Right, that is now the correct signature. Fantastic. So now we have a dungeon level current. Which can go in there. That returns a bool. Just borrow you. Thank you. There we go. That'll do fine. There we are. So, we now have dungeon level current being passed in to here. That is now the correct signature. There you go. These map cells are now dungeon level current. Yeah. It's IJ again, isn't it? Make sure. See? We've got yellows and a red. What's this red for? That should not be red. Return false, return true, return true. Sorry, return false or return true. Yes, you've got two mappings, that's okay. Blue, what's blue to do? Don't care about those, good. 9 warnings found, that's good. Does it build? That's bad. Blah, 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 blah. Oh. Sorry. My bad. Oh, we've still got GMAP cells hanging around, have we? Oh, yes, we have. Let's have dungeon level current dot map cells. Any others that I've missed? Probably. Nope. Good. It runs. Fantastic. There you go. Can't see a thing. That's what I call interesting. Now, what didn't I do right? There's a question and a half. Right. Let's start from up here. First thing is, am I creating this dungeon level in the right place? Map create, dungeon level current. Okay. What I now need to do is check through this code and see if we've missed something, because I always do. I mean, there's no problem with that. So let's have a quick look at what we've just done. Okay, dungeon level current should hold maps, map cells. Now I have no idea what these values should be at this point. All we're looking for, there's no trues. So rather a lot of these bools. I don't think we're going to get any trues at all. Ah, wait a minute. There is a way of doing this. An easier way to do this. And it is here. Check it there. Oh, it got there. Damn. X of 7, Y of 18. X of 7, Y of 18. False. Does anybody know why? I know why. What have we actually done? The complete C++ way of doing it is what we've just done. Now we have to redo it in C. It's called memory management. What we did was a shallow copy of memory. The memory never got altered. Another piece of memory did, because we copied here. This dungeon level current gets copied. A copy of that is made in here when it's brought in. At this point here, we are dealing with a copy of dungeon level current, not the address of. So we have two options. We can go the C route and pass in the address or a pointer to our dungeon level current, or we can alter the code so that it passes back a value of usefulness. The answer is, obviously, do that. Use pointers. And this is why you need to use pointers. It's the whole point to it. Because we have it not just once but twice. We don't just have one copy of it, we have another copy of it here. So we have 3 copies of it when we only need the address of where it is. And that's why you shouldn't do it that way, and in C it won't work. That probably would have worked in C++. A shallow copy would have survived long enough for us to do an operation to copy it, or the compiler long enough to copy it for you and cover up your mistake. So this is a quick lesson in being aware of what is really happening when you start passing around variables between functions and how to use functions, and the reality of how to use them, not the stupidity of C++. The reality is it has to be a pointer. It can't be anything else. Luckily, that was only about, what, 80 by 40 is 3000. It's only 3K of memory. But what would have happened if that was like 300 gigabytes of memory being copied around? How happy would your computer be then? $2,402. Yeah, 2K, sorry. So our code produced just over 7K of data. And it was all lost due to shallow copies. What a shallow copy is, when you return a value or copy a value back, and the next action that happens is you hit the brace, which deletes you. That brace there deletes your copy in here. So you no longer have the data. So it isn't actually returning it either, which doesn't help. But it has that length of time in which to copy it and use it, which is nanoseconds? No, probably milliseconds. Which is an Age of Empires in the terms of a processor, but it's not good enough for us. We have to return our whatever it is thing at the top. So let's do that. That's the first thing we have to do. And it's a pointer. So back here in main, Yep. It's not assignable. What's wrong with it now? Initializer element is not compile time constant. Yes or no? Are you mental? Alright, let's pop this here. And it now becomes... Let's do it properly, because I want this as a pointer anyway. Delete, do that. End, do that. Dungeon level current. Dungeon level... Oh, God. Wish you'd stop messing me about. Alright, let's give it... Thank you. Alright, what we need now is... That is a constant. And will work. Right down at the bottom. Ding, ding, ding. We'll just clean up that memory, I think. Right, what we got wrong now? Yes or no? Where are you? Rendon Dungeon. Rendon Dungeon? Hey, you little dot. You naughty person. Now, do it properly. Thank you. Got another one here. Another little dot. Do it properly. Alright. That should set it all up properly. So I've got this one in place. Let's go to the first one. That's now a star. That's now a star. That's good. This will work better and simpler. Okay, you're happy. And you're happy. Okay. Looking good. See if it'll build. Alright, X is 7. Y is 18. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Oh, it's doing it properly now, is it? Sorry. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, we should get 7 and 18. True. Let's have a look at the screen and see what kind of ridiculous mess we've made. Right, this is a ridiculous mess we've made. We've now got rooms. Graphics don't look too good. That shading isn't doing too well. Doesn't bother me, I don't care. So there's your rooms. That's how easy it is. We've gone from OpenGL Hello World Square to, hold on a minute, we've got dungeon rooms. Non-overlapping dungeon rooms. There is another problem. Do you see these 2 rooms here? Just watch what happens to them. Okay? Just watch what happens to them. Absolutely nothing. But I thought they were random. Yeah. You forgot something. Actually, I'll keep it after player. There is something that we do need to do. And that will be to... wonder if this is going to cock up. There's only one way to find out, I suppose. Source. Sander dice. Dum de dum de dum de dum. Who forgot to set the dice going? Me. Remember where them 2 were and they didn't move? Where are they now? Oh, it's changed. Do you see these 2 big rooms here? Oh, it's changed. We have rooms. Shall we have corridors? We now have a way of doing it without using a global. We still have position G, position component, max entities. I wonder. Oh, I know what's going to happen to that. It's going to go into the components system, isn't it? Does it really matter? No, not at this point. So I can ignore that last global for a bit. And we have made progress. Wow. Let's see if we can make some more progress. Yeah, we have game component here. position. Which doesn't matter at the moment, for that's placing the player. Are we okay with these two? Yeah. We are. Absolutely 100%, because I'm not going to be messing about with them. My apologies. Dungeon created in a random sequence. Yeah, we'll commit that. Commit, please. And there's the code for you. Oh, it needs some kind of password by the looks of this. Try that one. There it is. Fully working code. All yours. That's on GitHub for you as we speak. Right, let's go and do the corridors. Why not? Now, the corridors I don't really care about at this point in time. We're just going to let it do anything it wants. I think that's the best way of putting this. I'll keep the printf as well, because it's interesting to me. All it does is print out the number of rooms and number of corridors it's made it, and the count in the number of corridors has to be one less. Otherwise it fails my test. So, here we go. Pa-ting. Right, there we go. Looking good. Right. Generated that many rooms. And it says room count. Oh well. Doesn't look as though we can do that anymore then. Never mind, I don't care. Generate corridors. Every room has to be accessed by corridors. Is that a word? Oh, it's accessible. Really? There you go then. Corridor count doesn't matter. Irrelevant. Right. Is this what we needed room count for? Yes, it is. So we do need it. Oh, wait a minute. No, don't worry about it. So what was room count? Room count is a U8. I can't see there being 255 rooms somehow. Right. Attempt to place room on map. If success, that's your floor tile. And that is room count. Plus equals 1. Done. Next. We can do that printf then. Haha! It's not needed. It's just fun to have. There we go. Did I put an I8 or a U8 up there? U8, okay. That's fine. Okay. Alright, here we go. Set 2 random initial points in each room. Right, we can't do that. I'm sure it's going to stop us from doing this. So far it hasn't. Seriously? No red markers? Ah, because I changed it to a game component position. That's why. So, that's going to be a game component from point equals that will be dot what's a game component from? No, can't be. This is where this problem comes in with this, because it's a position component I'm after. That's the type. It's not giving me anything. Position dot position. This isn't going to work. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Big red flashy thingy. It ain't gonna work that way. We need a point. Oh, don't do that. Don't be an idiot. what we need is that. So let's have one. Let's have a type def struct for a point. Now this point only needs to have a uint 8 x u8x and a u8y. That's all it needs. It's a point. I'm going to call it y when it's supposed to be z. Okay. I'm going to do it properly. There you go. Point 3D is an XYZ. So in the header file, what's going on in the header file? Not much. Right, where were we here? Point 3D. Map, random pointy thingy. That's where I wanted it. Just needs a room. Thank you. Coming back to our to-dos. Oh, it's a real to-dos. Where's my to-do gone? Oh, it's below us. And we can take that out completely now. It's not relevant. If it'll let me. Thank you. Looks like we're going to have one less to do. Let's just have a look further down. So that's now legal. Walk along proposed corridor and create a segment list from room to room. Discard duplicate segments. Which we're not doing. To do. I'm going to pop that there. So that is now a point 3D. And that equals... Ah, didn't work. I always forget to turn my num on. Num thingy. There we go. We can do a dice roll. Randomly. Are we doing corridor count or not? Do we have to? U8 corridor. Go on, count equals 0. Because it's funny. Not because it's of any use. Right, map. Carve corridor from point to midpoint. Right, these are now 0.3Ds. Okay, and the voids. Good. I like voids. Midpoint X, midpoint Y. It isn't. It's going to be Z. All Y's have to change to Z, please. Because we're going to do it properly. Using the correct notation. Else. Z, please. The Y's don't matter, that's the height. We want them on, we want floors, not anything up high. Okay, that's lovely. That's worked. Good, that's that code cleaned up. We are not currently discarding duplicate segments or calculating the segments of the corridors. We are just randomly splattering them down and being happy with it for a second or two, whilst we get corridors working. Alrighty. Right, what have we got down here? Yeah, I've got these two here. I hope I make this look easy. Any questions? I'm sorry, I was absolutely engrossed in what I was doing. If there's any questions about any of this, please say something. I don't mind. If you think you are asking a stupid question, no, you're not. You're just asking the sensible question that everybody else wasn't or didn't dare to ask. And I'm not going to turn around and say, oh, that was bloody stupid to ask, wasn't it? No, I'm not like that. You can ask me the most basic thing like, what is a pointer? Or how do you know when to use a pointer? Well, I tried to explain that a bit earlier. And how you can mess your memory up. Should you use pointers a lot? No. You should not. Right. Map carve room, is that now working properly? Yes. We have everything working properly now, except for these last two. I've still got yellow markers here. Alright, parameter never used. Never used, never used. Okay, fine. Let's use them. What are we on now? Map, carve corridor horizontal. Right, bit interesting this actually. I found it interesting the first time I did it, but did I do it right? These are all U8s. For starters, let's save like a lot of memory and stop wasting memory here. Which direction do we carve? First and last. Yeah. Else. First and last. Yeah, just swap the order. Yeah. That's fine. In the horizontal, we're just dealing with the X's. Sorry, the Y's. Z's. God, I'll get to it soon. It's here. It's Z. That's a Z. Oh, look! Map cells. Who would have figured? Where do we get that from? Getting very popular, this little piece of pointer, isn't it? So not only have we had to create a new structure for points, we now have to add that. And no, I'm not afraid of using the same each time. The same variable name, doesn't matter. You can call it any variable name you want. FYI. Right, that should bugger us up in 2 areas. I can't see them because I'm not looking properly. Here they are. Number of corridors, right. Comma, space. That's right. Dibbidi dum, dun dun dun. No questions? Interesting. I would have thought by now somebody would have told me I've gone off my rocker doing this. There we go. Now we have this variable, which means we can do that. I didn't check that up here, did I? Oh no, we're using IJ, doesn't matter. Width and height. That's fine. What have I just changed? Hope I didn't change something. Alright, X. I suppose. Oh. Where's that coming from? U8. Thank you for reminding me. Anything else I want to change whilst I'm here? Variable names is about it, really. And that. It doesn't matter, that'll do. So, how does this work? Which direction do we carve? If x is less than the one we're going to, then we are going left to right. Otherwise, we are going right to left. Yeah. Or is it the other way around? I can't remember. Well, that's what it means. If x is less... If from x is less than 2x, x is across, so... Yeah, that's going left, and that's going right. This is why I'm supposed to have these notes, you know. Carve to the left, carve it to the right. Could make a song out of this and become superstars and earn lots and lots of money. No thanks. Yeah, I'm absolutely mental. Carve, first to last position. Yeah, note, our tile is drawn from its... No, it's not. It's centre. That's wrong. Which gives an offset of plus minus 0.5 f. And that's what I didn't remember. You've got to remember this. Notes don't come up as special colour. Do we have to capitalise it or something? Nah, nothing there. Never mind. Shame. I should put it into the system though. Because like you can alter it on this ID, what you have. Am I happy with that? So it decides which way we're going to lay down the true cells. From left to right or from right to left. And then it just goes through here and goes along the X and just pops the cells in as true. And that tells our renderer to draw. Right. I didn't for that one. And vertical. Exactly the same, but it's up or down is what we're looking at. So it's the same function really. And I think I was being lazy at the time and just couldn't be bothered combining the two functions. I think that's what really happened. Point to that, please. Yeah, good. That's a Z. Which makes you a Z. You a Z. You a Z. Now all these Y's go to Z. Yeah, find and replace. Gives me something to do on my days off, just checking through that I've done everything properly. Yeah, okay, it's exactly the same code. Really. So if from is less than 2, carve upwards. No, it's carved down, sorry. 0 is at the top. Else carve up. Or into. That gets too confusing. We'll use up and down, it's easy to understand. Do I need to change anything else there now? No, I don't, but we do have a lot of complaints going on, so what are they? Right, let's start with you. What's wrong with you? Parameter is never used. Room. Oh, we haven't finished. We need a random room point here. We've got our to do. We've got a to do. So let's grab ourselves a random room point, and it'll stop messing us about there. These are points. These are 3D points. There we go. That's all it is. Not a huge piece of code, but a necessary one. So, let's start with that. So this is now a point 3D. Location equals, forget you lot. Oh, hello Muppet, ow. Curly bracer. There we go, that works. Location X is a dice roll of 1. Why have I got G rooms? Why have I got a global in here? It's after a width, isn't it? So that means I need the room width and the room X. Yeah, that's right. Shh, don't tell everybody. He loves me. How are we going to do that? We need the room width and height. Right. Okay. That's not going to work. We need to know what is in U32 room. That's just a number. So the U32 room is actually pointless to us and doesn't mean a thing. Great. Who wants a random point in a room? The corridors do. What information do they have? Because we can fake it, but I don't want to. I want to do it properly. So who was complaining? Alright, it's right at the very start of the corridors, isn't it? Corridor sequence. 2 random initial points in each room. Point 3D map, random point in room. Oh. So we need a list of rooms. That's what that rectangle business was all about, but why? I can only do it without the rectangle if I slice it in the middle. And to do that, you'd have to generate your... Ouch. Generate Muppet. Could you move, please? This is getting beyond ridiculous. Come on. Out the way. Out the way, love. Come on. Come on. Thank you. Bless him. What we could do is the rectangle business, or we could, on the second room, if room count is 1, actually no, 2. No, it starts at 1, doesn't it? Because 0 will have been created. I'd need 2 more variables. Ah! Thank you, Muppet. Is it worth having 2 more variables to stop a global? Yes, it is. Ow. God, your claws are sharp. That should be a U32. That's going to be a U8. Stop wasting memory. Come on. Get with it. There we go. Muppet, that is really hurting now. Stop. When you stand on that, it hurts. Excuse me. That's I cry out in my own mind. What I would need is U8 old room width equals 0 and a U8 old room. Are we calling it height? Yeah, we are. Equals 0. Right. That's what we would do. And when you come through and you have a success at placing a room, equals room width and old room height equals, you've guessed it, it's dead complicated, this. Really complicated programming. Yes it is, yes it is. Now shush you. That can only go after the room count. So, what we have here is if a room count is greater than 0, then we do the corridor. What are we on? Map, aren't we? Are we calling this stuff corridors or what? Floors? Yeah, corridor. And that would go with room width, comma, room height, comma, old room width, comma, old room height, semicolon. And that is what we need right there. And I think it's void. Yeah. Make it void. There we go. We'll have that added. Where are we going to add it? Yikes, don't do that. What's wrong with the room width? A parameter list without types is only allowed in... Okay. Funny. U8. Will be nice. We'll give it some memory to copy stuff with. We'll be kind to it. Where you going, love? Where you going? What are you doing? And this will now go... that disappears totally because it goes here. All right. Why did I go to all that trouble? Right, so it takes out that chunk. Oh, what have you done? Inject what? Please, don't do silly things. Yeah. That cuts that out. Places it there. Oh, we need dungeon level current. Who would have guessed? There's no 4 now. The 4 loop's gone. We're only doing 1 at a time. And now we have a 0.3D map random point in room. Okay. Why aren't we getting very far with that? I've just blocked it, haven't I? Where the hell have I just put that? Here we go. And this is the reason for it here. So we'll need to just pass that in there. That's dungeon current level, isn't it? Yeah, that's fine. Finally, I've split the crate corridors off. It's about damn time I did that, actually. And that can go on there as well. Thank you. Yeah, that's fine for now. Alright, you can shore up. What's wrong with the room? Width? Oh, there's no comma. Helps you put the comma on. Right, are we satisfied up here yet? No, because we've got no comma. We are now. Hold on. Good. Good, 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 good. Now, when we come to doing this silly thing with the room, we can now create the corridor. We've got all the bits and pieces we need to get this random thing in the room. In this random thing in the room, we don't want room at all. What we need is to know those points there. Which is U8. Oh, I've got to be careful now, haven't I? We should be okay. You can't have two... You can't have a speaker either. Thank you, Muppet. You can't have two functions with the same look, template, declaration that look the same. And I'm about to repeat this one. Oh no, it's got that in it, hasn't it? About to repeat that bit. In here. Yeah, we could do it in here as well. Map, random pointing room. I'm a little bit happier with this now. Just have to be careful. There's two, well, called signatures, but whatever you want to call them. So that's that sorted out, which means the random bit is very easy to do now. May as well do it whilst we're here. So it's width. We only need the... No, we need the location and the room, width and height. So we need an X and Y. An X and Z, sorry. Okay, do that then. We need an X and a Z. Yeah, we do. That's correct. Oh, that was dingling. What was the dingling for? Was that somebody trying to get my attention on... Nope, okay. That's fine. Oh well, this was going to be easy. U8X. I can't get me 8s right today. No, it's not an int. Cheeky monkey. Z, comma. Alright, thank you. I'm happier now. I've now got the X. Location X is the dice roll of 1 to the room width. Alright, okay. So that's that. -1. And that keeps it within bounds. We have to add on to that because of the way our rooms have a 0.5 offset. Is the location X -1. But that minus it by 2. Let's see how that goes. There's a bit dodginess going on there. So it's room height. Goes on the first slot. -1, correct. And then it's just said. Okay. -1 for the, yeah, because it's going from 0. Yeah, that's right. Going across the X, coming back. Yeah, that's right. I think it's only 0.5 though. I don't think it's -1. But we'll see. We will see, because we will be placing the player using this thing. So far, I don't know how. We'll work that out as we come to it. So our random point in a room is now those variables: X, Z, room width, room height. So that's old room, this is new room. Where's the X and the Z? Where are you, X and Z? Is it the dungeon level we needed, or just the X and the Z? You see, differences are differences. Attempt to place a room in the map. There's position X and Y. We're going to need them as well, aren't we, the positions X's and Y's, because we haven't got those globally either. We don't know how far in we are. And that's why I was using, I see now why I was using a rectangle struct. Because that takes an X, Y width and height. But we can go better than that. We can have No. Point 3D. Room location equals 0.0f, comma 0.0f, comma 0.0f, and point 3D old room location equals. This is starting to become a bit better now. And it means that I'll have a lot more control over it when I come to do the final coding on this section. Because this is what I was missing before. I didn't want a rectangle, it's this point thing that I wanted. Right, so. Okay. So we want a point. Well, no. We will need room location and old room location. Yep. Makes a bit more sense. Yep. Dot x equals whatever it is. I'm guessing. Yep. Old room location dot z equals. Actually, that's not true. Is it? It's that. It's room location dot x and room location. Let's do it properly. Dot z. Because we just got rid of a couple of variables. I can ignore that for a minute or two. Haven't we? Yeah. Room location dot x. Yeah, I just had to think through it. That was all. I was doing the right ones. Room location dot z. It's just with these x's and y's up here, I've used height and width. That's fine. Just had to make sure that we had it on z's. So this now is room location dot x, room location dot z. That now reads proper. Proper. It reads properly in English. Oh my god. That's a lot better. In fact, that is awesome. I've just messed up map create corridor. .3D. Room location, comma, .3D, old room location, maybe. Yeah, I'll do it. Signature's changed. Let's follow the red dots. What we're going to call it? Yeah, room location. Doesn't really matter. I don't really care what it's called, actually. Just as long as we have the information. Because this is all going to change. There we go. That means we've got all of the information we need to do the rooms. So, random point in a room, back to you. What do you now need? You want your X and your Z. So the first one is going to be the old room. Oh, that's a good sniffle. So you will need your old room location, your old room width, and your old room height. Those are the 3 items you need. And you are accepting. The wrong things. It's just location. Ah. Ooh. Ah. Room location. Whoops. I nearly put the wrong thing in there, didn't I? Where are we? There we go. Whoops. Fantastic. Done. Done. Easy peasy. And this one here is room location, comma, room width. And it all starts being written in English now. Making sense. Room height. Now all we have to do is do the random bit. Carved corridor doesn't need anything, does it? X and Z far points from points. 0.3Ds done. 0.3Ds got. From the randomness, yes, we've got it. I might be able to tweak this down and separate it out again. Wow. Right, what's wrong with this? It's the X, isn't it? So it's room location.x. And this is room location.z. There you go. That now makes a lot more sense to me as well. My God, I can read it without having to interpret it in my own head. Wow. Carving the rooms. That's okay. Horizontal. To and from. Check. To and from. check. Vertical Z, yeah. Oh, end of file. Does that mean we've got it all? I went through that at a little fast speed. I didn't really explain much of it either, did I? What I've done is I've changed it. Instead of doing the corridor separately, it now, every time it makes a room, it will create the corridor between the room previous and this room that it's in. Obviously, if it's on the first room, i.e. the room count is 0, there's no previous room. So we can't do that one. So the room count has to be above 0 before we can do from the zeroth room to the first room, which is what will happen here with the old rooms being passed through. So all that does is keep track of the previous room. Instead of old room, you could say previous room, I suppose. That might make it even more clearer, I don't know. Be more English. More English? There's a sentence. Oh, I've just said the thing to do. Have to correct myself with more English. Right, what yellows have we got? We have this value is never used. Correct. Because we can know, well, we can count the corridors if we wanted to, but there's no for next loop anymore. So, yeah. Delete. Code. Reformat. Because I've been messing about a lot, haven't I? Code. Reformat. Thank you. That just straightens it up a bit. Alright, what yellows have we got down here? These are interesting ones. This value is never used. What? I beg to differ. Oh, the 0 value is never used. Remove initializer. Yeah. That's all it's saying. What it's telling me is that really isn't needed. There's no initializer needed there. Because they're always behind brackets, if you notice. There's only... No, they're all behind brackets, aren't they? Point from to. From to. First last. First last. There's a problem there. No, there's not. That's why I declared them outside the brackets, so that they can actually travel through the brackets. Right, no, there's no problem. Good. Same here. Just not needed. There's no way, there's no path in which they can't be initialized, is what it's telling me. Right, that's it. We've got a blue marker now, which is a to-do, a real one. I'm happy. We've got a green tick. That was a hell of a coding setup. Yeah, and it's absolutely nothing like the original. Well done. Goodbye, maps. We've changed you. We now have no global. There are no global maps. But we do return a value. And that value is very important. We now actually create something, a dungeon level current, and we actually create it. So here, we've got a star, haven't we, on that yet? I prefer it if the stars are on the other side, to be honest with you. I'm not being funny about this, but the star's got nothing to do with the variable at all. It's a pointer. So what that says is dungeon level current address, and that's just a variable name. That's the pointer. Have we done it anywhere else? Yeah, all over the place, I guess, but I'll only do it in the header file. I'll sort the rest out later. I'll just do these. Okay. Yeah, we can tidy that up a bit. You'll notice that I do use two different ways of doing this, but in the final version, they will all be done in this way, not this way. So I'll be changing these later. It's just so I can see what the hell's on the line. Common, dice, build. Whoa! Fantastic. I haven't missed my semicolons, have I? Warning, no semicolon. What? You're right. Well done. Well done, computer. Done. Come on, you're struggling. You're struggling. We are now in an eternal loop. Why is that? I've looped us into something. Did anybody spot what I did? Where's the loop? The loop is... I've just created an eternal loop while room's generating. If success, blah de blah de blah, room count plus, and exit condition. Where's our tiles? Hold on a minute. Floor tiles used, where's that gone? Did I wipe it out? Oh god. It's floor tiles used, isn't it? Yeah, that variable there. Floor tiles used has to be increased. It is, it's here. Let's go ant farming. So how many room count? Room count 1. Okay. What's our floor tiles used? 190. Wow. Height and width, 915s. Ooh. That's not 190. Oh, plus the other room. The first room. Yeah, got you. $2,400. So half of 2,400 is 1,200. So on the second one, Floor tiles used went up, 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 up. The floor tiles used for the corridors isn't going up. Room count 12. 1,200. Done. It's not here. Oh. Oh. Where did the program go? Why isn't it showing anything? It's not coming out because I'm not getting a printf. That's what that printf is for. Ah, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. There is a mistake on that. Rooms generating equals false is the exit condition. If success, that if. Exit condition is outside. There's something wrong here. Something very wrong. These don't match. Why is it not coming out? It's something simple and I've done something stupid. And it's with that if statement. Why am I not getting to that printf and returning? That's the question. That's where we're supposed to be getting to. Why is it hanging there? Oh. Is there something strange about room count now that I don't know about? Nope. Maybe printf doesn't realise that that's... I think it's a printf error. I know it sounds stupid. Oh yeah, it would be stupid if it is. There it is. Yeah, it was a printf error. I put U in, which is a U32, and that was a U8. So it's looking for 32 bytes and crashing. Unbelievable. And that's why you need memory management, because of things like that. If I'd put a U8 in there, I think printf can take a U8. But if I'd done that properly with the printf, then that wouldn't have happened. And now it still won't work. Okay. Come on, I need you connected. Hope this isn't a random... Oh, you skunk. It just flashes out. There's something wrong here. And I can't see it. Star Dungeon level. Yeah, that's current. Yeah, okay. Can you get to that line? No, you can't. You're still running? You're still running. Where are you running? Hey you, what are you after? You? Hey, what are you after? Hey Pudsy Puds, what are you doing? Is it that time already? Good grief, it's an hour to your tea and you're already moaning. And I've got a problem here. It's just fizzling out and I don't know the line it's fizzling out on. It's irrelevant. Right, okay. Easy to do. Easy to do. What we've just added, forget it. So between you and you is everything we've just added. From that if statement. Yeah, I'll do. Okay, so that's what we started with before I implemented such a strange and unfashionable piece of code. So how can that code just hang us? Where's it going? Is it going to a loop anywhere? Are there any loops inside of map create corridor? There's an if, there's an else. You carve the horizontal and the vertical, or the vertical and the horizontal. Either way round. There's no loops. Okay. There are loops. Four. Ah, we got loops here. Those are straightforward loops. It could be one of these. I think it might be one of these that's doing it. I changed it over to Z's. Did I change them over properly? U in X equals from X. So that then goes down. Z equals first to Z equals last. So it goes in either direction along the x-axis. X stays the same, Z changes, equals true. Those are the only things that aren't in line. We can't be going out the 255 boundary, because if we are, there's something drastically wrong. That's just tidying code up. That's what I do offline, not online. So there is something wrong with the map carving for the corridors, is the answer. Okay. Rooms created in a random sequence. First attempt to insert corridors. Leave that with the question marks. There you go. Tools. VCS. There's the code. Up on GitHub. Okay. I should now say it there, but for some reason I don't get a crossbar. Oh yeah, first it says it at the top. First attempt to insert corridors, question mark, question mark, question mark. Right, okay. So that's the code that I've got. And it's not complicated code. I haven't cleaned it up, that's all. Create corridor is never used. Ah! That's why. Oh, no. I've just... Duh, of course it isn't. Goes to show that all the room locations work. As expected. Now, have we got another one of these transfers of variable issues? That's not copied. All the rest are. I'll have to go through the memory. And I bet it's a memory sequence error. But hey ho, we have the code. We have the code that we want to work with. I think that that's been a successful day. As the cats are now complaining. Is there anybody who wants to chat about anything, or anybody who wants to know anything about programming, or computers, science and technology in general? I'm more than happy to talk about absolutely everything, not just C programming, but other languages. I program in English, as you can tell. By the way, I type in lengthy names. So yeah, I mean, if there's anything you want to know, or you know, if you're doing your own projects, or you're thinking you want to do your own projects, is doing a roguelike a good project to do? Yeah, certainly is. It's certainly testing my skills, I can tell you. I know that I'm making mistakes because I'm very rusty at C. And luckily the computer's catching quite a lot of them, a lot more than I expected. But I'm not sure about these. You see, I'm always tempted to do something like that, because I'm like that, and then just run it and see. What happens? There you go, 19 rooms generated. So what happens when I do a control? So that's working around. The printf's okay. 22 rooms generated, and when it gets to the end it hangs. And it hangs on. Come on everybody, why is it hanging? So the rooms are being generated. I'm thinking of just plonking in a global variable to check on the number of corridors being done. So we're connecting corridor 22 to 21. Why won't it work? What's happened at that room? And that's the golden question. Oh God, don't tell me I've run into that. Interesting. But I'm not doing any checks for that. Interesting. Not doing checks there. Am I doing checks in here? For discarding duplicate? Have we got a 0 mixed in? Interesting. One of my points don't belong to the other. And it usually ends up with me looking at the wrong part of the code for about 2 years, when it's something very, very simple. Let's see if we can get another hint to the problem. I think I already know what it is, but... what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a float. And it's going to be... del me. Short for delete me. And it's going to equal... those are correct brackets. Yes, they are. That. And del me greater than 0.45. Instead of printing out the dungeon level, well, as well as printing out that, let's just do a printf on... oh, right, it's there. This is interesting, actually. I enjoy this type of thing. Let's call it map area used, and we will just pop out the float, shall we? There we go. So let's just run that. Oops. Stop. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. I know what's happening. It's alright, just stop. Did we break it? No. Oh god, yes. Thank god for that. Sugar. That was a stupid one to do. Because it's there. That was the answer. Holy cackles of Murgatroyd. I forgot me that \n thingy. There we go. Now we can run it and go, oh. It can't fit a room in. Is the answer. And the reason it can't fit a room in is because now all the corridors are blocking all the rooms. So when we are checking for the placement of the rooms, it's not just checking against the rooms, it's also checking against the corridors. Have you spotted it yet? So it can't put a room in because the corridors are in the way. And it doesn't know the difference between a room tile and a corridor tile. Nobody's told it the difference. So to make this work, you would have to take it down to 33. Possibly even lower. I'm not sure. But it won't work at 45%. That's guaranteed. There you go. So these are all now happily put together, but we have just created a huge bug in our program. because we haven't done our to-do. Wherever it went. That. Because we aren't discarding duplicate segments. Yeah, there's one there on the very far top right-hand corner. There's two going into the same place. There shouldn't be. There should only be one. So there's a duplicate there. So there wasn't an error in the code. There was an error in the maths. Interesting. I think we're going to keep the error in the maths. So, on purpose. There is an error in the maths as the corridors will now block room placement. Which is why it worked, why that math worked when we're doing corridors after, but it won't work when we're doing corridors as we go. So we've actually caused a problem for ourselves by taking out a global variable. And I'm quite happy to accept that. Because too many rooms are being generated anyway. But that's beside the point. What we're running on now, on rooms, 21 rooms still. So there's too many rooms still. So I was actually going to be dropping this to 0.25 anyway, but .25, we should have a lot easier time with it. 10 rooms, that's more like a dungeon level. Now it means that we might not have to clean up our corridors. Because it might be confusing enough with those corridors as they are. But there is the possibility that that can fail. So we have to check for that condition happening and restart room generation if it happens. Reboot the room generation. If it starts hitting like there's quite a few at the end, there's an awful lot. How much tolerance do we have? Instead of going for 0.25, why don't we just say that, hold on a minute, if you can't place it so many times, so what we would do is replace with a tolerance for how, so it would be for max tries at placing rooms. And if you were to say 10 max tries, I wonder what would happen. Completely different algorithm to what we're using now. What we're using now is we're checking against the map area used. This would check against how many attempts or how crammed, packed our map is. It's going from it at a completely completely different angle and will give completely different results? Or will it just give the same results? These are things to think about when you're programming games. You've got to be able to spot the maths problem. And you've got to be able to think outside the box a little bit and come at it from different angles and see what is best. Is this the best solution? No. Is tolerance the best solution? No. What is the best solution? No idea. Maybe there isn't one. And that's the truth. There isn't one. There isn't a best solution. There's one that works. There's what the next one will work. What are the risks involved? The first one can crash the program. The second one could give you a dungeon floor so crammed full that it'd be untrue. A dungeon map. But that would be the risks. Which risk is the one you are most likely to accept is the truth at the end. So, tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to move this camera around and have a better look at the map. At the moment, WASD doesn't work. So we're going to have a look at this map and see whether we are willing to accept what it's doing now. We'll change it over to tolerance and we'll try it again. And see if we can do any better. So there's your solution. First attempt to insert corridors. 2 solutions. 2. Two solutions to creating corridors. Both need testing. There's your final answer and commit for the day. But you saw how easy it was to just narrow it in with like a couple of silly printfs. But that's why I have them. People say don't use them, but you can't find that bug without using them, because you've got to look at the algorithms and print out the results. Otherwise you can't see it. So there you go, 2 solutions to creating corridors. Both need testing, now on GitHub. All yours, folks. Play with it overnight. Catch me tomorrow afternoon when I get the camera moving and we have a look at the results of these 2 ideas. I'll call them ideas. Who knows? Solutions, ideas. Don't know, I might have a third overnight. God help you if I do. So, take care. Go and have your tea. Go get some food. Grab your coffees. And have fun. Muppet, you know that you knocked my speaker off here. What did you do with the mouse? You didn't eat it, did you? Okay, what's he done with the mouse? Muppet, what are you doing with the mouse? Okay, found it. Found it. Catch you later, peeps.